So many guys do this. I've seen this so many times with my friends. Like, you go on a few dates, you like him, and then you have sex, and he loses interest like right after you have sex for the first time.
Listen, if he likes you, it doesn't really matter how soon you guys get intimate. If he doesn't like you, it doesn't matter how long you wait. I was just working with a client who was telling me that she was trying to save herself. She ended up going further than she was really comfortable with, and right after that, poof.
So, do I look like Steve Harvey to you? I mean, maybe I do. But I absolutely love Steve Harvey and I love a lot of his advice. But there are some important things to remember. The first thing is that there is no one person who can offer you advice that works for you 100% of the time.
Going forward, you should tell them that you would wait till marriage and then see how these men disappear. Some guys will date you for a while before giving up. Time doesn't dictate sincerity. Look at how many guys hide in the friend zone for years. Pay more attention to how they treat other people they are not pursuing. You will see the real person. Good luck. You are not the one doing the hookup. I am 20 and I know a guy 30 who does this all the time. He would go on a couple of dates, sometimes even once of faking wanting to be in a relationship or whatever with the girl he wants. Once he hits, he bounces off immediately after, since he has been faking everything the whole time.
So many guys do this. I've seen this so many times with my friends. Like, you go on a few dates, you like him, and then you have sex, and he loses interest like right after you have sex for the first time. That's why I always recommend holding out longer on sex. Like, make sure he's consistent, make sure he's putting in effort, make sure he actually likes you. As women, we control the access to intimacy. You should not feel pressured to give it up early or think he's gonna not want to talk to you anymore if you don't have sex with him. If he really likes you, he will not have a problem with like waiting a little bit longer to have sex.
So I was talking to one of my guy friends and he goes, how a guy treats you after you guys have slept together will literally tell you everything you need to know about how he feels about you. Apparently before a guy slept with you, there's like these chemicals running through his body and his mind is just on pursue. So all he's doing is pursuing you. He's literally texting you every day, texting you every morning. You're sitting there going, oh my God, this guy's fucking incredible. He's like giving me so much communication. He's like asking me out. He's picking me up. He's taking me for dinner. Then you guys sleep together. After that, he said, if you see the communication, even in the slightest, decrease, he's not into you. Post-nut clarity has emerged and he has realized, hold on, this isn't the girl that I want to be with. Actually, I'm not even that into her at all. It was just this chemical reaction going through his body before he slept with you that was telling him, I need to sleep with this girl. His hunter vision was on. He goes, if you see communication go up after you guys slept together, if you see him making more effort, then you're good. That shows you that he's actually interested and he actually wants more with you.
Hello fam, how are you all doing? I hope you all are good. How is your new month going? Let's address this question that was asked on a subreddit. The question says, why do men lose interest, respect after sex? Let's talk about it. It just happens every time. No matter how interested they seem, how well we get along, how much we seem to align. Even when I tell them my intentions and wants of being in a relationship, they still split every single time after sex. And no, the sex is not bad. It's incredible. But all of a sudden, they are too busy. After they leave my house the next day, it seems like, oh, okay, they sex you in your house. Okay, good to know. It seems like no matter what I do or how much I vet them or how long I wait, the vibe still changes after I share my most intimate, vulnerable side with them. Sex makes me like someone more, not less. What gives? And it seems like this is a trend a lot of women are dealing with these days. This is very sad. I know for women, when they have sex with you, they are more likely to like you more. But I don't think this is the case with all men. Different people have different opinions to this. Some men are arguing for, some men are arguing against. Some people of the opinion that some men love you more after sleeping with you, while some people of the opinion that that's not the case. I don't have sex that quick. I'm fully dating them and getting to know them. I don't do hookups. Wait longer to have sex. Those guys will filter themselves out. And this one replied, that's not true in all cases. I'm going to give you some harsh truth and reality. You can either take it for what it is or not, and who you are as a person. If he likes your personality A guy will stick around with you. The problem is that you are only attracting guys who want to sleep with you and don't want anything serious with you. A guy has to like you outside of sex. He will stick around and continue wanting to see you. If a guy really likes you, or make him wait 6 months, you can either sleep with a guy the first week. It doesn't really matter when you sleep with a guy.
So, T-Boy says, a lot of these men start seeing you less when you sleep with them. I just can't understand these men. Okay, welcome to Mr. King's Takes. T-Boy, let's have a chat. Look, we're grown, yeah? We already know that bedroom fun is meant to be an expression of mutual desire. Two grown adults fully consenting, getting jiggy with it, doing whatever they want to do. It's real simple. Now, if a man chooses to pull back and see you less purely because you shared your body with him, I say be grateful that he showed his stupid ASS, because that's good riddance to bad rubbish. Now it's time to shut the bin. Listen, the last thing any woman needs or wants is a man who punishes her for doing something with him that he was just as involved in. That's a red flag with flames all over it. You see, the fact of the matter is this. A man who intends to leave will leave whether you sleep with him right away or in 6 months. It doesn't matter whether you sleep with a guy on the first date or after you're done following the Steve Harvey 90-day rule. A man who intends to leave will leave anyway. It's not how long you make a man wait that guarantees whether or not he'll stay or want to see you again. You understand what I'm saying? The fact is this. While waiting is cool if that's what a woman wants to do, it underestimates severely just how persistent men can be to get the kitty. Listen, a man can wait a whole year for one woman. Don't get it twisted. He might probably be, running around with other women in that meantime. But a man can wait a whole year with one woman, get it one time, still play in your face and leave anyway. It's not how long you make a man wait that guarantees whether or not he'll stay, right? It's much deeper than that. So the point is this. If a man chooses to leave straight after sleeping with you, or he wants to see you less, it's two things that's possibly responsible. Either A, he genuinely did not enjoy himself, and he's just not bold enough to say it. Or, number two, he was always there just for the kitty, and he used lies to get it. Either way, that doesn't sound like a man who deserves a second chance in my book. So, if that's how a man wants to move, I say close the door, lock it, and throw the key into the ocean. Yeah? A man who punishes you after intimacy is not a man you lost. Trust and believe me when I tell you it's a man you escaped. Yeah? Peace.
Listen, if he likes you, it doesn't really matter how soon you guys get intimate. If he doesn't like you, it doesn't matter how long you wait. I was just working with a client who was telling me that she was trying to save herself. She ended up going further than she was really comfortable with, and right after that, poof.
It's been 4 days since we've been together. Haven't heard from him yet. First time we hung out, we hooked up, and he's been around every day since. It's true, it doesn't matter how long you wait. If they like you, they will stick around. What if he's still talking about marriage and you're guarded, but he's wanting you to do something you're not comfortable with, and he gives silent treatment when he doesn't get it? Means what? I think it means he's more interested in the kitty than you, because I don't see any reason why a grown man should give you silent treatment because you refuse to do what he wants you to do. It's already telling. It's obvious the kind of person he's going to be in the marriage with you. If he doesn't have his way, he punishes you, and that's not a good person to be with.
Steve Harvey says you're not supposed to give away the cookie for 90 days. A lot of the men are like, I'm not going to wait 90 days. I'm like, I'm not going to give it to you before 90 days. What's your take on a timeline when you're dating someone? When do you have sex? When do you meet their parents? When do you start your relationship calling him your boyfriend? I've been caught in this timeline thing so many times. Can you post in the comments so I know how to,
I had it the next day when I met my now husband, and I've been the happiest ever. All of what you said are facts. I'm 36. Dating 90-day rule going into effect until I'm ready and comfortable. have sex when your last names are the same. So this one is saying you should have sex when you are married. Get married first. I don't care how old you are. There is no one size fits all when it comes to conversations like this. In some cases, the women are the ones longing and yearning to have sex with the man. If you know that sleeping with him is not what you want to do, then stick to that. Make sure he doesn't coerce you into doing that. Don't go against your wish. Do not break your boundary in that area. It's important to hold on to your boundary when it comes to that to avoid regrets and had I known. We've clearly heard different takes from different people sharing their experiences. For some people, they had it the next day and they are happily married, while some people, they had it the next day, it didn't work out for them. They had it 2 months later, it didn't work out for them. I think everything boils down to the individuals involved and what their interests are, especially with the men, what they really want out of that situationship or relationship with you. Since you're the one holding the card to your chest and the game depends heavily on you, just to protect yourself, don't do what you don't want to do. That's it.
So, do I look like Steve Harvey to you? I mean, maybe I do. But I absolutely love Steve Harvey and I love a lot of his advice. But there are some important things to remember. The first thing is that there is no one person who can offer you advice that works for you 100% of the time. Not even me. The other thing is that as much as I love Steve Harvey, let's just say that the men most of us, my followers, are trying to date are a little bit out of his generation. When Steve created the 90-day rule, I really believe he created that as a safeguard for women, but not in the way that you think. As women, we're often pressured into physical intimacy far before we're ready, and we think that that's a thing that we have to do in order to get the man that we're trying to get. I think that when Steve said wait 90 days, he was really telling us to wait until we were sure, till we were ready, until we felt comfortable and trusting of this potential partner. I don't think he was guaranteeing that if you waited 90 days, he was going to wife you up. All the 20 and 30-year-olds that I asked said that that definitely was not the case.
I'm a man. We know this trick. I don't know, Maybe I'm saying this because I am male, but I don't think this is true. Depends on the man. Some men will fall in love with you if you do, but the men that are like that are not the ones we want to marry. The question here is this: can you use sex to get a man? Let's talk about it. Let's hear what TikTokers have to say and commenters also have to say.
If you want a man to fall in love with you, don't sleep with him. It's the easiest cheat code in dating, but somehow it seems to be going over our head as women. Men enjoy women who have sex with them, but respect women who have boundaries. If a man is desirable, he's going to have lots of women who are ready to sleep with him. If you sleep with him, you do not stand out in the slightest. Men do not take time to get to know you after the fact of sex most of the time. Men will judge you on whatever you show them initially, and if what you show them initially is the inside of your vajayjay, that's what they're going to judge you on. They are going to believe that that's how you operate in the dating scene, and they are going to look at that and say, I don't want a type of woman who behaves like this. Because what a lot of women do is try to show men their value after the fact. Let me be the first to tell you that men do not care. Especially desirable men, because they have hella options. So the same interaction that you think you're having with him, he could be having it at the same time with 5, 10, 15 other women. The only way to stand out is to be different. It is not easy to be an exception to the rule. Sometimes it just happens to you, but often it is a result of your behavior and your patterns that make a man realize that you are not like these other girls. It's not by mouth alone. Men have a lot of advantages in this dating scene, and I feel like someone saw that and said, okay, let me give women an equal power so they can stand toe to toe with these men. That equal power is sex. And ladies, we are wasting it. We are not using it properly. Let a man show you who he is. Let him show up consistently over a long period of time. I'm talking about 4 to 6 months of phone calls daily, seeing each other multiple times a week. Please don't ask me about long distance relationships. I don't believe in them because I do not think men can do them unless they have been with you for a while before you even started a long distance relationship, and even then. But do your due diligence. Make a man show you who he is before you give up your greatest weapon, which is your box.
My sister, you are somehow right and wrong. The answer is not every man that crosses your lane you date, but observe and reject who you don't want to date. There are still men who will wait for you for months. Depends on the man. Some men will fall in love with you if you do, but the men that are like that are not the ones that we want to marry. And then she replied this comment saying, that's not true at all. If anything, The most desirable men have the least respect for women as they've accessed so many cheaply, so they either cut you off immediately or fall in love. Like I already mentioned, this boils down to the people involved, their personality, what their interests are in the people they are pursuing. You cannot compare a man that is a player with someone that genuinely wants a real relationship. Their focus, their mindset, what they want out of the relationship would definitely be different. I think the type of men that lose interest after pursuing a woman for a while, are the players. I mean, after pursuing her for a while and then having to sleep with her and lose interest, I think they are mainly the players.
Using your sexuality to get a man or to keep a man is the worst thing you can do. He isn't interested in you to begin with. Do you think being intimate with him will change his mind? No. If anything, they think negatively of you because you have proven that your self-esteem is so disgustingly low that you'll sleep with a man as a last resort just to feel validated, and you don't value yourself. You don't think you yourself as a person is enough, and that's why you're taking off your clothes to get him interested in you. A person should like you regardless of sex, and if you have a relationship based on just that, that is nothing but trouble. A man sleeping with you isn't a flex. A lot of men will sleep with anything that is offered to them when it's served up on a platter, and that's what you were doing. What you need to do is walk away from someone who clearly doesn't like you. You are much more than your body, and you need to realise that. Don't let yourself become used by these horrible people.
Okay, ladies, I'm going to explain to you exactly why using sex as a strategy to try and keep a man will never work, right? If you're trying to use sex as a way to get a commitment out of a guy, it will never work. And the reason for this is that men place more value on the quantity and variety of sex than they do on the quality, right? I'll say that again. Men place more value on the quantity and variety of sex than they do on the quality, right? So if you find yourself feeling like you are at a point where you've tried everything and now, this guy maybe is pushing to get, that physical intimacy out of you. And you feel like if you give in, you will be able to get a commitment after that. Just know that it won't work, right? And what's likely to happen is that you are eventually going to give off a message to the person, showing them that you are into them a lot more than they are into you, right? So when you get to a point where you're willing to give sex, right, before you get a commitment out of someone, right, you may lose a bit of respect from the guy, right? You may lose a bit of respect, right? Because, to men, that kind of signals that it's not the only person. There's no way they're the only person that, you've gotten to that point where everything is failed and you decide to use sex, right? It doesn't look good on a person's character or when it comes to the stability of a relationship, right? So what men are doing when they're asking you for sex, when they're trying to get sex out of you, when they're trying to coerce you to kind of, give it up, right? They are actually trying to gauge your character. That's what a lot of women don't understand, is that they are not just doing that for the sex. They're actually trying to gauge your character as a person. They're trying to see, whether you would give in to a guy's advances. They're trying to see whether you are strong enough in your values, right? You're strong enough in your self-respect and your confidence that you would prefer to walk away than give it up, which is why a lot of the times when people decide, you know what, I'm not going to give sex, I'm not going to give this guy sex, that's all he's pushing for, right? You find that those guys end up chasing you back, right? They end up chasing you, and usually that's when some people may be able to get into a committed relationship, right? So when guys are pushing for sex, while you're still in the stage of getting to know each other, but you're not official, right? They are trying to gauge whether you are strong enough in your character or your value system that...
Like I said, this is not a one-size-fits-all situation. Some men out there don't mind if you gave it up the next second you met them, the next minute, the next hour. Some don't care. Some men would appreciate you doing that. They would see you to be bold and fearless, while some other group of men would perceive you to be loose. We all heard what the man said. Some men do that to test your personality, to test your boundary, your principles, your character, if you're disciplined, your values and all that. What matters most in all them video in this conversation is what you want for yourself as an individual. There are some cases where women are the ones pushing to get down with a man they just met. Maybe they find him so attractive that they can't resist him. It starts with you knowing what you want from a relationship, what you're willing to do and not willing to do. If you perceive that a man wants just sex from you and you don't want that, there's no point giving in. If you're someone that is looking for commitment, stick to commitment. Don't go sleeping with someone on the first day expecting that person to be committed to you. You might be lucky. That man might not be those kind of men that judge you for doing that, or those kind of men that are testing you. But I don't think you should do that. I don't recommend that. If you're looking for commitment, focus on commitment. Don't give in. Don't start having sex when your focus is commitment. If your focus is having sex, then go for what you want. If you're someone that wants commitment, but you're with a man that his focus is on having sex with you, then it's a big problem. Doing the 90 days rule, the 60 days rule, the 80 days rule, I guess that should work. You should consider practicing that. That might work for you. And if you do that with a man that his aim is just to sleep with you, that would not stop him from leaving. But what you did is you made him work for it rather than him getting it easily. So there's a huge difference there. As humans, we know when people don't like us. We have intuition. Our instincts are always speaking. We know if a man is faking it, you have that little voice telling you. The signs are there. We see them. We can tell. Yeah, our body is always speaking. Listen to your body. If that man really wants just sex from you, men don't hide some certain things. Some men do, but some men are not good at hiding it. If a man you met is always talking about sex, what does that mean? It means what he wants from you is sex. Sometimes it's always clear. So learn to be observant, learn to read the room, learn to study the man you're in a relationship with to understand exactly what he's saying. Learn to understand things that are not said, unspoken words, read body gesture, learn to read patterns, mannerism. All those things are important. They're all part of communication, verbal and non-verbal communication. Is this really how men are? I, female 24, my boyfriend, male 24. My boyfriend and I have been dating for 1.5 years now, and I'm starting to feel like this relationship is only about sex. The way the day goes always depends on whether or not I perform sexual acts. If I'm not in the mood, he acts like I never try to do anything for him. Personally, I feel my sex drive has gone down because of this. It no longer feels fun or enjoyable. It feels like a chore. Because my sex drive has gone down, I mostly just do it out of not wanting to have an argument or a bad day. I never get to be affectionate without leading to something sexual. I never get hugs, which means a lot to me. My mom moved away a few years ago, and when I have a hard day, a warm embrace is usually all I needed. My boyfriend has never hugged me just because he wants to, and when I ask for a hug, it's just me wrapping my arms around him as he just stands there with his arms by his side. I've always wanted to watch a movie and cuddle, but as soon as I go to cuddle, he instantly goes to make it known that he is ready for sex by putting his member on my back. If I ignore it, he makes me put my hands on it, and if I don't act interested, he turns away and doesn't speak for a while, then continues to tell me about how I'm basically ruining his day. Some days he wakes me up at 5 a.m. trying to have sex with me. It starts again with him putting it on my back to try and tell me what he wants. Most days I ignore it and pretend I'm asleep, and then he goes on to shake my body to try and wake me up. I'm not a morning person at all, so this upsets me a lot more than anything else, because I've made it known since the beginning of our relationship that I do not like to be woken up, especially at 5 a.m. on a day I don't work and I'm never able to go back to sleep. If I don't go along with what he wants, I usually wake up to a few long messages about how I'm basically the world's girlfriend. Sometimes when he does something awkward, To counteract whatever he feels, he will quickly reach into my shirt to try and grab my breast, which makes me really uncomfortable, especially now that we are 24 and it seems to be how 17-year-olds act. My therapist told me that this is just how men are. Sometimes I think about leaving, but I think, what's the point if this is just how men are? Is this really how men are? We need to know the gender of your therapist, number one. Your therapist is lying to you. This is not how men are. This your boyfriend has a problem upstairs. Something is wrong with him and you don't have to stay there. He's obviously with you because of your body. He does not care about you as a human being. This is my personal opinion and you don't have to be there. You need to change your therapist. It's either your therapist is a guy or your therapist is related to your boyfriend. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section and I will see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.